This is day 95 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Today's learning is sponsored in honor and for the schus of Avram Mordechai Braun Shlita. If you would like to sponsor an upcoming shir or more, please contact me directly. It will be very much appreciated. Today we're doing Siman Nun Ches Sif Yutes till Siman Nun Tes Sif is Vav. And Yutes is talking still about the Guzman Kriya Shema and what happens if you passed it, you missed it. Without the Lashon HaTorah Kain Hu. This is the language of the Torah. Alpha Pishis Man in Shach at Shosh Lishis. Even though the time lasts until the third hour, the end of the third hour. In Nanas Lokar, if you were compelled by some circumstance not to read it, Lokar, and you didn't read it by the end of the third hour, Yochel Yikraisim Baruch Hosea Ko Sharavis. You can read it with its brachas all the fourth hour. B'chuli Ad Kam Lishon. Mash, but sounds of this Lo Yikiru Lochachay L'Kros HaBrachas El Davka Kshenenas. Some of the Chachamim only gave permission to read the brachas to say the brachas when you were subject to an onus. I'm not so know if I was my Kriya Shema, but if you deliberately let Kriya Shema go and wait until the Zman is over, lo yevarech, you may not make a bracha. Rabbi Abba says, "Sifra Gadol Kosev Lav Dafka Naki." The Rabbi says, nah, it's not Dafka. Even if you did it deliberately, you can still make the brachas. Ayin Sham. I'm astounded, says Arukh HaShulchan. The Rambam Perisham Mishnah Kasar Ganke B'Zel Shona. The Rambam writes, "Lo yisir brachas chulei v'zeben misha shachach." You don't lose the brachas if somebody forgot. Ad kan l'shona. Kam l'shon b'chiburos l'perkav, also for the language in the Mishnah Torah. Mashma Kain, it sounds the same way. Shkasar he writes, "Hakorach HaShol shows beyond." Some reads after 3 hours into the day. Aval Pisha Yon Onus, even though he was compelled, Lo Yatzei Dechavas, he did not fulfill his obligation. I'm sorry, let's say Dechavas Kriya Shema Bonasa. That was obligation. We read Shema during its proper time. Ad kan l'shonoi. So he also stresses again. Aval Pisha Yon Onus. It sounds like there's this distinction. Mashik Shabbeinu Beis Yosef. Shama to the middle of the Chag B'Kach. He says, as far as the two or no distinction between a case where he's compelled, a case where he's not compelled. I Sham Lo Yadati. I don't know. The body Kotak Kodesh Cham Keinu. Says Arukh HaShulchan. That's why Chachamim deal with things. They're more lenient when somebody is honest and when somebody's not. Because Koshkin is to say the Raisa. And so when it's to say the Raisa of Shema, Tiklu Chachamim Brachas, which are Chachamim Brachas, they'll be more lenient. Somebody was honest and somebody was not honest. Even though the brachas are, we're going to be find out, are not specifically linked to Kriya Shema, even though they seem to be linked, they're not specific. They're not. Nevertheless, we come self kach tiknu. The manner in which they were instituted is one in which they seem to be linked, and they were, and therefore there is a linkage. They only made the brachas if you did it properly and not if you were violated Zman Kriya Shema. Only if he's compelled to then allow him to read afterwards with its brachas and not where he deliberately waited till after the Zman Kriya Shema was over. Now, the Tzarech Iyun, he says not sure, but the Arukh HaShulchan said the Mishnah Berurah is sure. He says that even if you read it, even if you were criminally negligent in being over the Zman Kriya Shema, that is, you read Kriya Shema with the brachas or the entire fourth hour. Chaf. But that you should know the Yerushalmi break out the brachas and avoid that. But see what any cross Kriya Shema cloud, lachas Zman Kriya Shema. So what down the Yerushalmi not to read Kriya Shema at all, but tzibur. After time has passed. This is the language of the Yerushalmi. Yosef Rabbi Yachad Nafkal Tanesa. Yosef Rabbi went out to Tanis Asat Tzibura. A group came. Umikra Shema, and they read Shema B'Sar Tlash Shoin. After 3 hours had elapsed already. But Rav Acha wanted to protest them. Rabbi Yosef said, "Look for Karosa when I saw. They read already at the right time." Klum Karino so Elamod feeling Dr. Torah. The reason they're reading it now is because they want to be Omer B'Tfilah. To recite to an essay coming out of this recital of Shema. So he said, yes, that may be, but we have to take into account the fools, or the commoners, or whatever you want to translate. Shalom Ramu Ben Nosen Kodesh said that they should not say that after the 3rd hour is still the proper time. Ak Kalashona. Hareisha B'Tzibur also Lachaz Makriya Shema. You see, in the community, it's forbidden to delay Zman Kriya Shema. Thus, Rabbeinu Beis Yosef Sivro Grosim and Bov Sheheviza. Rabbeinu Beis Yosef brings a custom of Kamar Boy Lemuchuye. It says they wanted. Beis Yosef first it says he wanted to make a protest. Shema Min Shlo Micha. They didn't protest because it says he wanted to protest, not that he did protest. Ein Sham. Futiklu Kaka, move on. Says Arukh HaShulchan, that's not such a the diucometer register is very low on that one. Okay. He also wrote, anyway, they're not going to listen to us if we protest. So that's why it's not worth it. It's definitely true, as evidently well known to anybody who has gone to a shtiblach and tried to make a bracha of some sort. I assume that that's what he's referring to. So there's a little bit of evidence for his first answer. That they were not moicha back then. The Sham their previous Avi Ushalmi said the Yomi Rabbi Yochanan Avni came along Micha B'Yodam. Rabbi Yochanan, they used to do that, and he didn't make a mecha against them. Ayin Sham. I feel no more king. We say this. Hamishmash Malahedya to sell Raksha Kvar Koros Nasa. Sounds that this is only true when they read it at its proper time. Moshe Yeshiv lo Rabbi Yossi. This responded. How can we understand what we do in all of our countries in the summer when, as we saw yesterday, the time is very early? And we're not nanas. We just put it off because it's too early. The merciful one atone for our sins. Later on, Kuvches could become clarified with tefillah in terms of davening. If he was compelled by certain circumstances not to daven, he daven twice in the next tefillah. That tefillah's tashlumin, making it up. Some say the gam kriya shema. If you didn't read it during the day, mahani tashlumin barvis. Do it twice by night time. The second one for the obligation. And the second one to make up for his being compelled to skip it during the day. And so too, we didn't read at night. Make it up the next day. Some people disagree. It's not like davening, because davening is making supplications. And you can make the supplications at any time. As opposed to Kriya Shema, which has to be when you're lying down, when you're rising. How can you get the Shema of waking up when you're going to sleep? The Shkiva Zman Kima and vice versa. Therefore, in this it says, you cannot fix that which you're distorting. And it's obvious that you should not make the brachas if you try to make a tashlumin, which is not advisable in of itself. We never ever heard somebody paskin that you should do Kriya Shema of tashlumin. Simen nun test. Din bracha rishona di yotze or. Okay, we're up to the first bracha after Bochu. Aleph, Anshe Gesagdol Tikun Levarach Shnei Brachos Livnei Kriya Shema. The people of the Great Assembly, beginning by Shem period, instituted to make two brachos at the beginning of the Shachris portion, formal Shachris after Yishtabach before Shema. Vein Yotzar Ba'avarabba. He who creates light and he who possesses great love. Achas Arukh Shema. One bracha after Shema, call Yisrael, the Redeemer of Israel. And at night time there are two before, the same two, and two afterwards. The Baris need for say Pichas Hashkebeinu Shem Shachris Lo Shaykh. Even you make the bracha of Hashkem, which is not relevant during Shachris. Zeu Sheshaninu B'Meisha, that's what he say in the Mishnah. V'shtachem Vorech Shtayim V'nei Avachas Tachreya. In the morning make two brachas before and one bracha afterwards. Uva'aris at night Shtayim V'nei Shtayim Achreya, two before and two afterwards. Yerushalmi Hashem Heim V'Sheva B'Yom Yal Ticha. There's 7 brachas together, 4 plus 3, because 7 times a day I praise you. Because of Rashba base, because of Rashba, the Rashba says the tshuva and responsive. The brachas of Kriya Shema einan brachos. The brachas of Kriya Shema einan brachos shel Kriya Shema mamish. It's not. They're not brachas which are fixed and caused by the Shema. Kivichas the Torah, kivichas the mitzvahs. Like Birchas the Torah is affixed to the Torah we learn. Birchas the mitzvahs are affixed to the mitzvahs we do. Shenkei Eloi Baruch Hu Kros HaShema. So there should be a bracha. Baruch Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam Asher Yisrael. Mitzvah Savatzi Bani Kros HaShema. Which Baruch Hu the Torah, but Kriyas HaMegillah, just like we do on Kriyas the Torah and reading the Megillah. El She Birchoseim Nitlu B'nei Atzmam. These brachas are independent of Shema. El She Tiklu L'Omram. They said you should say it. Before Shema and afterwards. And the Goyim also agree with this. There was somebody read Shema without its brachas. It goes back and says the brachas by independently. Below bracha, so read Shema without its brachas. Then he reads Kriya Shema with the brachas. Like I said in Yerushalmi, which we saw before. That is the widespread practice. Okay. So the brachas, again, they are a separate variable, not necessarily linked to the actual Shema, even though they surround the Shema and are in that place. Good Gimel. Bracha Rishon, the first bracha, Yotzor Choshech. You created the light, who made the light, or formed the light, and created the darkness. Asa Shalom, it says here Asa Shalom, but could be Osa too, I guess. Varesikol, and creates everything, makes peace and creates everything. Yishaya Kosu Kate. This is the pasuk Yishaya, but there, Rishon Simon the Crow, the pasuk there ends, Uvorei Ra, he created evil. They didn't want to mention something bad in davening. At least the Ma'aya Da'ko. So they took the nice language of Yotzer V'reis HaKol. Kavanachas, he does the same meaning. V'achi meaning to say, Lotzimi Das meaning to repudiate the opinion of the heretics. Shishtei Rishua saying that they're two separate gods, two separate authorities. Po'el Toiv Po'el Ra. This is the Zoroastrian belief of ancient Persia, of which there are still adherents, the Yazidi, till today. That there's one that's good and one that's that bad. It's not true. God created both the light and the darkness. That's what makes peace between the two of them. Meaning the light sticks to its time, and darkness sticks to its time. They do not override their boundaries. And where the heretics be correct, why would the God of light not manifest himself at time of night? And vice versa. The master of darkness should try and attempt to infringe on the master of light. So rather, because we're both the good and the bad. Why? So man should have free will. That would say Barakol has the same meaning. She's Barach Barakol, he created everything. Dalet, V'lama lo shinu loshen choshech. Why do you say Yotzer Arei Choshech? Say Yotzer Ar Uvorei Lavor, whatever. Why do you say Choshech? Shkam hu loshen Mula. It's also not so nice. Zel Adra, on the contrary, Kedei Laskir Midas Alayom Balayla Midas Abiyon. We want to mention the night during the day and the day during the night. Klamar meaning the Zel Ikar. This is the primary thing. L'hodos, to acknowledge that one God created them. Hayom Balayla, day and night. Chor v'choshech, light and darkness. Chem chakras of Skir Choshech to Laila. Therefore, by chakras they mention the darkness of the night. Over Arabis in the night, or mean Goyal Or. And now we say he rolls back the light because of the darkness, and the darkness because of the light. It all goes back to this idea, which we explained previously, of the light and the darkness both being Ratzon Hashem. But hey, Bracha Shnia Ava Rabba. The second bracha is Ava Rabba. Ava Solam. According to Edot Mizrach and others, Ava Solam also in the daytime. Bracha Shachre, the bracha after Shema, Emes V'Yati V'Gal Yisrael. Uverev Rishona Asher sorry. Very the night we show the first bracha is Asher B'Tvacho Ma'ari Baravin. His words he causes evening to come. The second was Abbas Olam, eternal love. Shachran, and the ones after Shema Emes Ve'Emunah. Agal Yisrael. The first one is Emes Ve'Emunah. The second one is Ashkibenu. His brother is simulation above. It's going to be explained later on. The bracha b'Yisrael shall leave in the Kriya Shema. Bein b'Shachris, bein b'Arvis, Hoseh b'Baruch, Hoseh b'Baruch. The bracha b'Yisrael before Shema, with Shachris or Marav. They both begin with it begins with the Baruch Baruch Hashem, ends with the Baruch Baruch Hashem. Ushnias, the second ones, and Poskus Baruch, they don't believe begin with the Baruch. Mination Smuchas Rishon, because they're juxtaposed to the first bracha. Bracha Smuchas Chaverta. Afagad, the second bracha is a makos. High last or the bracha is not an impediment. So sometimes maybe make the second bracha before the first bracha. No. Ikra Takon al Seder Tiknu. It's supposed to be on the Seder. So it'll be ever not on the Seder words. Brachas out Shema do not open with the Baruch. They say Smuchas Rishon because they're juxtaposed to the first ones. The Chol Brachas Muchaber to Chosemes and Baruch. Say Baruch was the juxtaposed to another bracha which precedes it. Chosemes Baruch. It concludes with the Baruch. And Posachas and Posach Baruch does not start with the Baruch. V'zeo b'brachas aruchas. That's by long brachas. Have a brachas kitzaros short brachas like the bracha on fruit or whatever. Posachas Baruch and Chosas Baruch. They begin with the Baruch, but they don't end with the Baruch. L'chein therefore b'bichas hashachar, b'kidush havdalah. In all those cases, V'shama V'shem Baruch Shel Nisuin, the 7 blessings of a marriage. Kulam Posachas Baruch. They open with a Baruch. V'rak yesh chos mos b'Baruch. Then Posachas Baruch. Some don't end with a Baruch because they can say brachos, kitzaros, short brachos. Kamo sos nasi samech the samach. Because Bar Be'evan has a siman samech based, that those are the short ones. Yeah, right. Okay, somebody animals Baruch don't be in. Okay. Vav. Chesar Perek Av Din Zayin. Kol brachas Elohim Shar Kol brachas Arukh HaShulchan OC. So all these brachas and all the other brachas which are arranged in the mouths of Israel. Ezra based in Otikno. They're fixed by Ezra is based in. Then I'm a shayv close man person may not detract from them, nor expand on them. Makom shizkiru lachtom b'hem b'baruch. Place where the takana is to end with a baruch. And Roshai shalachtom, you're not allowed not to end with a baruch. Oshikiru shalo lachtom. Place where they declare not to answer with a baruch. And Roshai you're not allowed to answer with a baruch either. Makom shizkiru shalachtom baruch. Place where they did not include baruch to be in the bracha. And Roshai you can't include baruch to be in the bracha. Makom shizkiru liftach. Place where they made takana to end with the baruch. And Roshai shalachtom, you're not allowed to not leave out the baruch. Klol shadavar. The general principle is Hamishani Mabesh Chachamim Bebracha. Somebody who changes the formula of Chazal and making the brachas Hagei the Teyeh. He's mistaken. Chayzim Varach B'Matbeya. He goes back and breaks the bracha according to the proper formulation. Chol Shalom Emes Yatsi V'Shachris Emes Emunah B'Arvis. So you say Emes Yatsi in the morning, Emes Emunah at night. Lo Yotzei Dei Chavos. So he doesn't fulfill his obligation. Ad Kan L'Shoinai. That would show somebody who deviates from the version which I think that's not the Lamay. Has to go back. But Shishina by Psicha Chasim, it's only been changed in the opening and the closing. The low Shishina emphasizes the tovos, tables. Somebody change some words in the middle because that's prevalent. The Enomak is not an impediment. Come also last Soske. Nevertheless, the Arukh HaShulchan, who's certainly not a chassid, says you can't change the nuscha bracha. Basically, table shirish ben nuscha lenuscha lo chashiv shiri. Except that he says that the difference between the nuschos of a few words here and there are insignificant. L'shnei and nuschos yesh makom, both of the nuschos, there's only of Ashkenaz and Sfard, the Chassidim yesh makom have a room. These are both the words of living words of God, or the words of living God. So therefore, in opening and closing, we won't find any difference between the two versions. It's only in the middle, not in the beginning and end. And if you look at the older Shlur of Haigon and such like, you'll see they're very substantially different in the middle, but the brachas are almost always the same brachas.